Hey everyone. Um, I haven't done one of these in a while. um, I've been quite busy. I've had a lot of things going on, so um, I kind of left it for a little bit, and I didn't really have anything that I wanted to talk about, I guess. Um, but I think what I do want to talk about, just because it's popped up quite a lot in my day-to-day conversations, sort of trying to chat to people about it and to explain and to help people understand, is to do with eating disorders. So I'm quite open about what I suffer with. I actually think, some of you may say, oh, it's for attention or it's this and that, and like you're glorifying it, etc. Nope, not the case at all. I actually just find it helps me to be more open, or like it helps me being open, basically, and just sharing it with people and letting people know where I'm at, and then getting support and encouragement. I guess in a way you could say it is for attention because I need attending to, like I need support, I need help, and I don't really see a problem in sharing it with people. Um, and also, it's just being real as well. So, eating disorders are incredibly secretive. They're all about what's hidden, they're about what other people don't know. Um, and that's when they can spiral, and the ball just gets bigger and bigger, the ball keeps rolling, and then you get further and further into it. Whereas the more that it's spoken about and the more that the person suffering with the disorder talks about it, the less hold it kind of has on you and the less secretive it is, and that can actually help a person. So next time you say that someone's just sort of doing stuff for attention, or whatever, maybe just consider that it could be helping them. But so basically, I'm not going to talk for very long. I don't know loads about eating disorders, but I do have one, so I can try and explain it a little bit, because I know that they're really confusing. They do not make sense. If you haven't suffered from one, they make no sense whatsoever. And I'm quite lucky because I'm in a position where I am aware that I have a problem and I know it's bad, but at the same time I still have the eating disorder voice in my head, so I feel like I'm able to talk about it quite rationally, but I do not take my own advice because the illness is there, and it's something that I'm overcoming at the minute. So the eating disorder that I have is bulimia, which basically means, and it started off when I was younger, because I would use food as a way of calming myself down, as a comfort, essentially. So I would comfort eat, and that started me sort of spiraling a bit into comfort eating. I'd put on a bit of weight, and then I wouldn't like that, so then I would cut back and exercise loads, and then the cycle would go on and on. And I always said if I could ever make myself sick, I would have a problem, but for some reason I just couldn't do it. So I was like, yay, okay, never mind. And then just over a year ago, it actually worked. And so what it is the version that I have is whenever something distresses me, or whenever something, it can be like a tiny off balance emotion, I essentially just go straight to food as it's essentially my everything. Like it's when I'm bored, it's something to do, it's a comfort, it's a friend, it cheers me up in a way that nobody else can. I can't explain it, and I know it sounds bizarre, but literally food will do that for me. But then I'll get so obsessed about losing weight and wanting to be skinny that I will literally eat probably, I don't know, probably between like 3 to 6,000 calories, like, per binge, and then immediately throw it all up until it's all gone. Like, I will be sick until I can't see properly. I will make sure that it is all gone, so it's almost like it never happened, but then I get that comfort. And to start off with, so bulimia does the same thing that being addicted to a hard drug does. It becomes an addiction. So to begin with, it was just if I overate, and that's what I would say to my friends. And then it became an addiction. So it got to the point where I couldn't relax in the day unless it had happened, or I couldn't get to sleep unless it had happened. And it literally becomes like the thing that you hold on to. And it's so strange, because I know that, you know, overeating and being sick is not a healthy thing. And let me tell you, people with eating disorders know that. Like, they do not need to be told, you know, just don't binge eat, or just try not to be sick. I actually had a health professional tell me that. I went to an eating disorder clinic, and she sort of said, you know, in the meantime, if you just try not to be sick. And I was kind of like, that's why I'm here. Like, I can't help it. You know, I can't, it's an addiction. I can't not be sick. Like, I can just about go 2 days, but that's if I cut right back on eating totally, you know? And it's just, anyway. So yeah, I mean, I guess I just want to kind of get it out there that you are not abnormal if you have an eating disorder. And it can be strange for people to try and understand if they don't suffer from one themselves, because logically it doesn't actually make sense. You know, we know that our body needs food to survive, yet we will starve ourselves. Or we know that, you know, eating 6,000 calories in one sitting and then being sick until you can't see is not healthy. But again, it develops into something more. And it starts off from somewhere a lot deeper, usually, than just, I want to lose weight. Because wanting to lose weight, I mean, fair enough, some people are triggered by actually needing to lose weight and then they go overboard. But the sort of the eating disorder mindset that I'm talking about more is the one triggered by something emotional. So insecurity, essentially, which I guess, you know, if you are overweight, you might feel insecure, you might not. I don't know. But so I guess it all kind of comes from the emotional part anyway. But yeah, so I've lost my train of thought now. But basically, I just want to say to you guys who are suffering from an eating disorder to talk about it. Don't keep it hidden. Don't be afraid. People won't understand, and I'm telling you that. I've had some very interesting conversations with many people, and sometimes you just have to sit and smile, you know, sweetly, and say, yes, thank you. Sometimes you can explain it to people and they understand. Sometimes you can't. But I kind of find that the more open you are, people will either ignore you because they think you're attention seeking, or, you know, they're like, you know, why are you even talking about this? It's clearly not really an issue if you're being so open about it. Or they will support you. You know, people go either way, really, I've found. And, you know, to the ones who aren't supportive and who do think negative things, so what? There are so many people in this world. You can do without them, I'm just saying. And I know it can be hard, you know, if it's someone close to you. But you've got to pick and choose people that you chat to sometimes about things, because not everyone's going to get it. And then for those who don't suffer from an eating disorder but want to try and understand, you know, I mean, this doesn't apply to everyone, but I quite like it when people are inquisitive about it. You know, they want to learn, they want to know. Because then it helps them know how to be around me. So a lot of people now know to not crack out, you know, the chocolate and the biscuits and stuff when I'm around, because I will literally sit there and be like, oh my God, I need to eat them all. Or, you know, like I'll go around to someone's house and they'll know what to cook for me or what I'm okay with. Or even just, you know, what to do if I'm having a bad day. Like, that's the thing. It's like, we just sit here and sometimes, like, I've definitely done it. I can expect people to just know what to do. And actually, realistically, a lot of people don't. I mean, I don't even know what to do sometimes. So it's more that you just kind of chat. Not necessarily, you know, always talking about, well, I haven't eaten this today and I haven't eaten that and I've done this much exercise, blah, blah, blah. It's more just like talking about how you're feeling and where you're at with it all. And being open about that. And then as a person on the receiving end, so you're not struggling with an eating disorder, but you know someone who is, you know, you can listen to them, you can be inquisitive. Do not become their, what's the word? Sort of someone who's constantly looking over their shoulder, like, have you eaten this? Have you eaten that? You know, sometimes you just have to be accepting that it's going to happen. So, for example, sometimes people in my life know that I just need to go to the shops and buy some binge food, and it's going to happen because I will find a way. You know, people with eating disorders will find a way. If they don't want to eat, if they want to be sick, if they want to binge eat, there will be a way. So it's good to keep an eye out, and, you know, and to talk about your concerns, but not be that, like, voice, you know, like, oh, you know, eat this, eat that, do this, do that and stuff. Unless you're very close to the person and it kind of works, you know. But that's the thing, it's just trial and error, and it's just chatting to people and being open and having good communication, which is very hard when you are struggling with an eating disorder, because quite often people don't want to say anything. And I'm kind of struggling. I'm in a position now where I'm like, I want help with it, but I don't. I want the bulimia to go, but when I don't eat, I don't want someone controlling my diet. But I'm honest about that to the healthcare professionals that I see. You know, and I say that I'm not ready for that. I'm not okay with that. But let's work together on the bulimia side of things. So yeah, it's just like taking it one step at a time. Obviously, if you're, I mean, they're all severe. Like, every single eating disorder is severe. Like, no matter how early on you are, no matter how skinny someone is, help should not wait until someone is literally, like, you know, 4 stone underweight and on death's door, or has such a bad electrolyte imbalance from being sick that they're about to have heart failure. Like, no, we need to start acting now. We need to start talking to our doctors, talking to someone. There's someone out there who can support you. Like, there will be someone, whether you found them or not, there is always somebody. And just going from there one step at a time, you know? So, yeah, I guess that's kind of all I wanted to say on it. It's just, I know it makes total sense to the person who has the eating disorder, and it makes no sense to the person who doesn't. So if we can, like, meet in the middle, you know, then that can be very helpful. It really can. Like, I can't tell you how lonely mental illness can be. And that's why I keep blabbering on about it, and I keep doing these videos, and I keep talking about it, because I'm like, I have no shame. I really don't care. Like, you know, if you're sick of me posting so many pictures and whatever and these videos and stuff, like, okay, so what? Like, it really doesn't faze me, you know? Yeah, and I just think, you know, things only change the more that you do them. So I'm hoping that the more that this is all talked about, then more change will come about. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, I guess I'll do another one soon. Bye.